Most advisors know guaranteed income is becoming a bigger part of the 401k conversation. But when it comes to actually evaluating annuity options, it can get complicated fast. Today's conversation is all about simplifying that. I'm joined by Tamiko Toland, creator of the 401k Annuity Hub, and we're breaking down how advisors can actually evaluate and implement guaranteed income solutions. So let's jump in.
Welcome to the Ask the 401k Experts podcast, where you get strategies, resources, and best practices for growing a successful and compliant 401k practice. And now, here's your host, Sharon Pivirotto.
Please tell me a little bit about your program and what it is and who it's for.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I've got 25 years of experience in annuities, and I've always been interested in the expansion of annuities into retirement plans. Really, in the last 5 years or so, in particular, refocused on this space and kind of bringing my expertise as an annuity nerd, known as the Annuity Yoda, into the retirement plan space. My last job, I was an executive at TIAA. And one of the things I did was distribution enablement for the 401k products. And the development of this service was really in response to what I kept on hearing from sponsors and from advisors and consultants. Like, number one was, what are all the solutions out there today? And then number two is, how do I sort through all of them? So basically what I did was I went back to my more data roots and said, let me put together a database that lists all the products and then enhance that by giving people a way to actually sort through, but not from a product perspective, really from a plan design perspective. And I ask structural questions to help people figure out what is the set of products that might work for me and give them tools to better learn the solutions, figure out what's available on what record keeping platforms, that kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay, so who's the end user of your platform?
So it's retirement plan advisors primarily. That's really what I designed it for. It's also available for plan sponsors, like the ones that really want to, the ones that like to get into the details. I'm not anticipating that's who wants to use it mostly, but also consultants and, just other vendors in the space that are trying to get their arms around lifetime income, because it's a combination of really an educational tool to help people learn, but also I allow them to create documentation that kind of backs a consistent process to be able to pick lifetime income. And so that's something that they can retain for their files and say, this is the process that I used to identify these products. This is the one that we picked. For whatever reason, you have to do your own due diligence, but I help with that documentation piece.
I love that. Documentation is one of my platforms. You have to demonstrate prudence, right? So is it possible for you to kind of show us a behind the scenes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Sharon, I'm going to just start here with, this is the website. So this is part of the public area, and anybody who wants high level information, first of all, about the service itself, that's obviously what the main page is about. But I have this learning center. I'll just click over here. And in the learning center, I provide education. The friendly guide to annuities and 401ks is really geared towards somebody who does not have a background in annuities and is curious about the space. And so, I wrote it in plain English. Obviously, I'm a third party. I'm not a manufacturer. And so I'm trying to properly educate people in a way that represents all the solutions that are out there. There's some other kind of nerdy writing as well as other resources that I think are really valuable for anybody looking to add lifetime income. So I just want to make sure that people have the resources. Now, I have two experiences. One is the wizard, the selection wizard, and the other is exploring on your own. I'll start with the wizard. And I ask some basic questions about really, how are you going to use the solution? Is this something while you're saving or while the participants are saving, or is this something that's going to be made available at retirement? And so the next selection is filtered based upon how you respond to the first one. So only relevant questions come up, and then you can make a choice. Now, really can be quite quick to get to results. In this case, if you say, annuity or annuity platform. If you pick annuity platform, bang, here are the 5 different platforms in the service. There are more involved paths, right? So I think a lot of focus is on while folks are saving and adding something often as a default. So that's actually the next question. Is this going to be default or not? And so if it's a default, does it show up as an investment option or a traditional managed account? You can see these questions are really not about annuity product. They're really about the plan and what fits the plan's goals. So if you say, well, I just want it as an investment option, do you want an off-the-shelf target date fund? Do you want a customer personalized fund? And now if you go off the shelf, and there's a lot of products out there in this category, this is actually one of the few cases where I do have a product question. And you can also say, I don't even understand what those 2 things are, and just show me everything. Once you get the results, and because there are quite a few products in this category, you can actually add additional filters through the filter rail. And let's say you say, well, I just want something that has a withdrawal benefit as opposed to annuitization. It further filters it down. You see lots of little eyes here with hover text. I try to make sure that it's easy for people to quickly answer the question, well, what does this mean? What's included or not included with this? And I try to make it easy to look across on the online experience and make some quick comparisons. I do have, for every single product, the ability to create a full PDF that summarizes that specific product. And so this is in real time. That's how long it takes to generate. And this is something that can be shared with a client, retained as part of documentation. And then you can create a comparison PDF with up to 3 different products. And I can show that as well. I think that the printed format is much easier for people to see. Like, I have an easier time looking at the different solutions when it's printed out like this. And I'll say, again, part of this, the repeatable process here is saying, okay, well, these are the selection criteria that I used. So now if I'm coming back and I'm monitoring and I want to run this same query again, you understand what did we use the first time. All the results are dated and I have room for notes. And this is just a side-by-side comparison. I include some boilerplate text just to help people that aren't as familiar with some of the annuity terms. And I try to make sure that kind of information available. I want to point out that every single product has a brief that I have written. So if you're like, hey, what's your 1 paragraph take on what this product is? That is available for all the products. So this is Explore. Under Explore, you can add filters and narrow down the different types of solutions based on different criteria. You can also do a text search. And for example, you might say, well, what are the solutions available on Empower? Right. And so now this tells you all the in-plan solutions so that while they're saving type solutions that are available on Empower's platform. So that's the kind of functionality that I'm trying to help people get to answer the questions that they need to answer. And this also includes other text fields like a managed account program, that kind of thing.
So I love that you've created this, and I think this would be helpful for a lot of advisors to help their plan sponsors identify and pick a solution for them. This is really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what would you want advisors to know about this?
So basically, my perspective is this is for anything that somebody can select to help with, specifically with lifetime income within the scope of retirement plan, anything that the sponsor is going to be making a decision on. I see the need, particularly among retirement plan advisors, because a lot of them are not familiar with annuities and they want to be able to consider these products, but they have to learn more about them and they have to have a reliable source of information so that they can say, I looked at the solutions that are available and these are the things that fit what your plan is looking for. And now this is the specific product that, among these, this is the one that I think makes the most sense for you. And I looked at what's available on your current record keeper. And you can do all these searches just to substantiate this is the research that was done And then also have that repeatable process where you can come back later. So it's documenting it from the get-go, but then it's also making it easy for advisors to say, I can now monitor the situation and do the exact same process I did the last time.
So how does an advisor access this?
We go back to the website, there's a sign up link, and just through here, this goes to create account, which then allows you to make the purchase through Stripe. Basically, you can do everything completely online. Obviously, I'm very happy to set up demos for folks and walk through it so that they understand better what it is that I'm offering. The subscription is $1,000 for 1 year of access, and that's unlimited searches. And I'm also trying to support folks and learn what features are important to add next.
This is one of those things that I think plan advisors need in order to help their plan sponsor clients, because the move, and I don't think we ever should have moved away from it, is having guaranteed income when you retire. And so many plans don't have anything like that. And people roll their money out, they cash it out, and it doesn't last like it was intended. So I love having the discussion of putting lifetime income in retirement plans. And this allows you to have that discussion by saying, I even have this tool that allows me to review all of the options available and help you identify what might make the most sense for your plans.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much.
If you want more resources, strategies, and best practices for growing a successful 401k practice, be sure to subscribe to the Ask the Experts podcast in iTunes so you don't miss out on new ideas from future conversations. Then be sure to visit the main site, 401kbestpractices.com. When you enter your email address to join the 401k Best Practice community, you'll get access to my most advanced strategies and resources to grow and protect your 401k business. Again, that's 401kbestpractices.com.